We are back in the 207 kitchen, continuing our series of news center chefs. Lee Goldberg, you might think that he would subsist on a diet of, say, ballpark hot dogs or something, given his line of work, but he grew up around the food business. We're going to put you to the test.
Well, this is all about Mom. This is my favorite thing Mom ever made. It's baked French toast. It's as good as it sounds, and it's not a light breakfast. I mean, if you eat baked French toast, you don't need lunch or dinner.
And you were conferring with Mom at about midnight last night, getting the final touches on the recipe.
There's a lot of pressure right now. There's a lot of pressure.
Let's get started. Where do we begin, Lee?
Well, we're going to crack eggs. We're going to need 8 eggs total. So you just grab 8 eggs, and you put them in the bowl.
Strangest shaped egg I've ever seen.
It's the incredible edible egg.
We're off to a good start.
Which is exciting. It's also important to note, don't put the shell of the egg in the bowl. Well, there are guys out there, and I want to make that clear because I don't want to get phone calls. You know, I busted a tooth on your French toast because I threw in the eggshells, and we both know that could happen.
If I had $1 for every piece of eggshell that comes in my egg dishes, I'd be a wealthy man.
All right, cup and a half of milk. Doesn't matter what kind of milk you use, just need a cup and a half.
Okie doke.
There's a cup, and that's pretty much a half. There you go. We're guys, we don't have to be exact.
That's right.
Now we're going for a tablespoon of brown sugar, which is very good. Also, if you ever had brown sugar just in the spoon itself, highly recommended.
Just mainlining the brown sugar?
Just eat the brown sugar. So a tablespoon of brown sugar. 2 teaspoons of vanilla.
The sad thing, Lee, is I've done that.
No, remember when you were kids eating the Nestea quick, the quick stuff there? What was it called? Nesquik.
No, I never did
when
that.
You made, I used to love
one vice I never picked up.
The Nesquik was good. All right, now we've got, this is the big stuff. You want to get Italian bread, okay? And you want to cut the pieces almost a full inch thick.
I was going to say, those are big, hearty
you want real
slices
thick
of bread.
Pieces. You don't want to use, little flimsy bread for this stuff because this is going to soak up a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So you got 8 slices of thick bread, about 3/4 inch thick. Then you cut each one of them in half. So we're going to have 16 slices of bread when we're done, and that's my deering math. 8 times 2 is 16. So
your teachers would be so proud.
Mom worked with me on that one last night to make sure I got the math right. So our 8 big pieces turn into 16 relatively big pieces.
I'm not going to embarrass you and ask you what would happen if you were, say, doubling the recipe.
Yeah, let's not go there. Okay, so we take all this stuff that we have in here, our eggs, our milk, our brown sugar, and our vanilla.
Very good.
And we mix it all up without splattering on anybody. Now, what you're going to do is once we get this all mixed up nicely, is it's going to go into, half of it is going to go into the base of one of these pans here.
Okay, we have 2 pans.
Yeah, well, and yeah, so we're going to be transferring. There's a whole, this is a major project here. This involves a lot of things.
Okay.
Take solace in knowing if I can do it, any 6-year-old can do it.
Yeah, well.
So that's good. All right, I think that.
All right, that ready? That looking good?
Do we look mixed?
I think that's.
Well, it's close enough.
Good enough for a couple of guys.
It's close enough. It's not a burger, but it'll do. Okay, so half of this, use your judgment. Half of this is going to go into the pan. Yeah, it's probably going to get heavy, so let's just do that. And we'll pour half of it in. Oh, there's a couple of non-stirred eggs, which we want. Here, you finish that for now. Well, you said it looked good. Okay, so half of it's in the pan.
Well, I'm trying to avoid the first 28-minute cooking segment in 207 history.
16 and all these little slices of bread are going into the pan on top of the concoction that has been poured in there.
Right.
So this is all going to go in here and just make it all fit. And if you can't make it all fit, then you put in as many as you can.
If it doesn't fit, force it.
If it doesn't fit, exactly.
There you go.
Just slam it in there. You know what? That's perfect.
That's good enough.
So the other half of that is going on top now.
On top?
Just go ahead and spread it all over the whole thing.
Okay.
Making one big French toast pie thing.
This looks good, Lee.
All right. Well, it tastes better than it looks right now. So now this is a great thinking ahead kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because now what you would do is you take this, you cover it, you put it in the fridge overnight, and that's it. You don't touch it.
Let it sit.
It soaks in all night long.
Okay.
All the vanilla, all the brown sugar, everything gets soaked into the bread.
Right.
So that goes in the fridge. Next day, you take it out. Next day, you grab pan number 2.
Right.
Pan number 2 gets melted butter, which we have over there.
Should I just pour this in?
Sure. Yeah, and just spread it over the whole pan.
Okay.
A half a cup of brown sugar. And this is, that's exactly a half a cup. That's amazing how that worked out. And then you throw in maple syrup as well, a 1/4 cup of maple syrup. That goes in the second pan. So 1/4 cup of the maple syrup, and you pour that in.
Okay.
Then you grab a spoon, and you spread it, almost like frosting. You're going to coat the entire bottom of the pan with all this stuff. Then you transfer all of the bread from this pan that soaked overnight into this pan.
Into that one.
If there's any leftover stuff on the bottom of the pan, you pour it on top.
Okay.
You put it in the oven.
So nothing goes to waste. Everything that's gone
Everything goes to pan 1 to pan 2, 350 degrees, half hour, or however you like your French toast. If you want it crispy or a little browner on top, goes in the oven. Over here.
There are your mitts.
And then it comes out.
All right, Lee's going to pull out the final product for us. Big drum roll, please. And while he's doing that, I'll remind you that, as always, the place to go for the recipes is to our website in the 207 section. Look under the 207 kitchen section, and you'll find the recipe for Lee's French toast.
That's what it looks like.
It's ready to go.
And it is fantastic.
So it's very easy. I mean, what we did here is all you got to do. The one thing you got to keep in mind is to put it in the oven the night before, or in the refrigerator the night before.
In the fridge the night before, and no shells in the bowl. Very important. Safety thing.
You have hit a home run, sir. You are welcome back at our clubhouse anytime.
Well, let's hope we're going to make the cooking segment longer.
Stay with us. We'll be back with more of 207 in just a moment.